everyone, my name is Danielle. Welcome to another episode of Board Game Bakes. This week we're going to focus on The Loop, which is produced by Pandasaurus Games, and now there's a fun new expansion, The Revenge of Faux. The expansion offers 2 new characters and more scenarios, and has a huge Faux in it. Let me tell you, there's Dr. Faux' machine, which is using to create loops and potentially destroy time. In the game, you use this to randomize where the tokens go and to cause mischief and usually problems. We're going to recreate this using almond sugar cookies and then use some caramel to glue it together, and of course some real icing to decorate. We've got a lot of work to do. Finger crossed it holds together. Let's get started. I made these tasty almond cookies before, but they are so delicious. Start by adding 3/4 teaspoon baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt to 3 cups of flour and giving it a quick whisk. In your stand mixer, add 2 sticks of softened unsalted butter and 1 cup of granulated sugar. Mix it until it's creamy and a nice yellow color. Add in 1 egg and give it a quick mix. Add in 1 tablespoon of milk and 1 teaspoon of almond extract to the mixture and combine. Slowly add in your dry ingredients. Once your dough has mostly come together, add in purple edible dye. I chose to attempt to create the color before adding it in, but you could also just play around with adding different drops of different colors till you get the desired color to match our machine. Once your dough is formed, pour it onto the counter and knead it until it's all a nice purple color. This will save you a lot of time later, since a lot of the cookies are purple and you won't have to worry about dyeing them purple or using royal icing to make them purple. Divide your dough in 2, flatten each into a disc and wrap it in plastic wrap. Let it chill in the fridge for at least 2 hours before baking. Time to bake! I chose to double the size of Dr. Faux' machine, so my pieces were 5 inches high. Roll your dough out to 1/4 inch thickness. To create the stencils, I literally put the top and bottom of the machine from the game on my computer scanner, and then I scaled it up and cut out the shapes. It's a septagon instead of a hexagon or octagon, which makes it a little harder to find a cookie cutter. I was also super cautious and made enough for 2 machines because I didn't want to get to the end and then not have anything to stick together. But you don't have to be as paranoid as me. When I created my stencils, I also printed 2 of each one, so this way I'll have one to cut out the raw cookie, and then later I'll have another set to cut out the cooked cookie, so it's not cross-contamination. You want to put it onto parchment paper and bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 to 8 minutes depending on their size. I recommend doing all the top and bottom pieces separately, so this way they're going to cook longer and you don't burn the smaller pieces. Once the cookie tray comes out of the oven, let it cool a minute. Then take your extra stencil and cut off any of the excess cookie, so this way your cookies are the same size as the stencil. Cookies tend to spread a bit in the oven, so this way we know that we have all of our measurements correct. You could also take the smallest size cookie stencil, and you're going to cut a diagonal there, and this will be where our piece rolls out of the tower. Let all your cookies cool before decorating. While you're here, make sure you subscribe for new videos every week. Thanks! Time to decorate. You just need to decorate 7 sides of the tower. Use a dark purple thick royal icing to outline your different shapes on your cookies. Since a lot of the shapes are connected on the different sides, it's easier to line up all your cookies for each one of your machines side by side, so this way you know they match when you form it into the tower. Use a lighter purple to fill in the background on the large sides of the tower, and a light pinkish purple color for the 2 sections that are around Dr. Faux' face. Use a light blue thick royal icing to outline the inside of all of the different windows, or I guess sides of the machine. Once that dries, you can fill it in with white royal icing. You could make different royal icing for all of the different sides. However, that would waste a lot of dye and bags for one small section. So I'm going with edible markers. Use the white to also fill in Dr. Faux' face and his arms, and use that dark purple color that was for the walls to fill in his coat. Add any of the remaining white spots, that will be buttons. You just want to do the tiniest drop of your royal icing because it's the thin consistency. Let all of your royal icing dry completely, and then go back with the edible marker to add your details. The hardest part is definitely the doctor's face, but you got it. You could do it. Once you're happy with all your sides, it's time to construct our tower. Okay, I had 2 failed attempts to make edible glue. The recipes I found and I thought I'd used before had a ratio of 2:1 for sugar to water, but this didn't work, or I wasn't patient enough to make it work. There was finally success when I just did sugar on a low heat, so just made a caramel. So it has the caramel color, but it was definitely sticky enough, which is what counts here. Once your caramel has formed, dip your bottom and side of your long pieces, so the ones that are 5 inches long, and you're going to grab another one and just do the bottom and stick those together. Hold these until they dry or harden, depending on how you look at it. And don't do anything else before you move on. Okay, now you're going to repeat the process with the remaining large sides. It helps to have them arranged on the counter before starting, so this way you know you have the right order because they all link together in the picture. When it's time for the shorter pieces, you're only going to be putting sugar on the sides. Put a cup or container underneath it, and this will provide some support while it hardens. Do the 2 small sides that are around Dr. Faux' face, and then your last step will be to put Dr. Faux in the middle. Time for the moment you've been waiting for, putting the roof on. Dip it in the caramel, so put the whole bottom of the cookie in the caramel, and now you put it on top, and now your structure has a little bit more support. Phew! Now the only bits left are the ramp sides, which we created by angling the smallest rectangles. Time for the finishing touches. Take your thick, dark purple royal icing, it's a mouthful, and fill in any gaps and cover up any of the exposed caramel so it has a nice purple color and appearance. Hooray! We're ready to destroy Dr. Faux' machine and eat some cookies. Wait, what? Thanks for watching another episode of Board Game Bakes. It was really fun having the structure just stand all by itself. I was like, yes, it actually worked. Obviously, it'd be a little hard for you to rip off a piece since it's literally glued together with caramel, which is why it was so satisfying to just drop it and destroy it, and then you could all eat it. So, destruction, tasty cookies, seems like a win-win to me. I think Dr. Faux would be happy. Have you tried the loop? Or yet, have you tried the loop expansion? If so, let me know in the comments below. Who's your favorite character to play as? What abilities and cards do you like the most? Keep playing games and keep them sweet. Bye!